In this video, I'm going to be talking about one of the really dark, huge shadows that's coming up to the surface now. And I was inspired by a couple of people today to make this video. The first one was this woman, this human, who judged me really intensely. As I was walking through an alley in Old Town Pasadena, there was this homeless man who said to me, sitting on the ground, he said to me, "Will you bless me with some change?" And before I heard the change part, I heard, "Will you bless me?" Well, I didn't have any change on me, but I turned to this human, I picked up my hands, and from my heart, sending all the love and all the powerful healing energy and Reiki and all the forces of the universe that I can muster up through me, in that moment I said, "I bless you with love and light." And I walked by. And I really allowed that blessing of love and light to come through. And a second later, a woman, another human behind me, turned to the homeless human and towards me and said, "That's not right," and gave this homeless person $1. And I felt the dark black arrows shooting out of her eyes at me as I looked at her. I felt the judgment. I was walking back from a lunch with my dear friend John Quigley, who was talking about judgment. It's interesting how it keeps showing up on the path to inspire me to make this video for you. John Quigley is a old white male. Well, he's not that old, but he fits that category. He fits that box that in this world right now is being demonized. And so he is an activist all his life, who sat in trees to protect the tree, to protect Mother Earth. He's devoted his life to saving people, protecting the indigenous, protecting the earth, protecting nature and animals, and this is his true nature. And he's a very powerful activist. You can look him up online, John Quigley. And now in the world, he has become the enemy. He lives in the world of activism. He lives in the world of racial equality and all those amazing transformational movements. He's led many of them. And I know this conversation comes from a white woman, even though I don't feel white, but this is the box that I can easily fit into. And so where I'm going with this is, there is a lot of judgment that's coming up to the surface. This shadow of judgment and opinions. Can we have compassion for those who judge us? Can we have an open heart and not judge them back, and at the same time not fold and twist ourselves and be taken down by the responsibility? So either we have to freeze ourselves if we're feeling judged, or we fight, or we flee, or we numb ourselves. So that's where the brainstem, the lizard brain, will go when we're being judged, when we're feeling like we're being judged. And so I turned towards this woman in that moment after she shot those dark arrows at me. And as my dark shadow of judgment towards her and feeling misunderstood, not being appreciated, not being accepted, justification in my mind, well, is your dollar really going to make a difference? Maybe my blessing is what's going to make a way bigger difference for this homeless human in this moment than your dollar. All this stuff, as it moved through me real quick, I landed in my heart, took a deep breath, and let go of judging the judge. I accepted her with my heart, and I sent love and blessings towards her also. And I didn't say a word, and I walked away. And I allowed her judgment to transmute and transform into inspiration in my heart, to become this video for you. And so, one thing that I see in this world is that there is a deep trauma that's being cleared out from people of color. This is the word I learned at my government job, where I've been taking all these trainings about racial equity and diversity and all this stuff where the white are being talked about, the white people versus the colored people, or people of color. Sorry, you can't say colored people. Can you say white people, or is it people of white, people of color? There's all these wrong words, all these taboos, this shadow that's clearing out, this shadow that comes through the people who have been suppressed, repressed, tortured. Their trauma, the anger, is clearing out. And this is so good, so good. And the people with the white skin are being judged. And this is also so good, because it's helping the white people face the karma that the white people in the world have created. And there is karma. Yes, I didn't cause it. Yes, John Quigley didn't cause any of it. But this karma that is in our DNA, the DNA of our skin, it's ready to transform, ready to transmute as the trauma hits us from the people that have been suppressed by the white males, as the white men and women, I mean, I felt it also, as we feel it, can we allow ourselves to accept? Are you going to freeze? Are you going to fight? Are you going to flee? Can you stand there with an open heart without taking responsibility? It's not your fault. Maybe you've done something. Then you may need to do some grieving. Maybe you haven't done anything and you still need to do some grieving. But can you allow this experience in the world? Can you accept that this is how the balance is coming together? The scale was really off balance, a lot of judgment by color of skin from all directions. And now it's the judgment has shifted, yet it's still about the color of skin, because this is the spectrum. The topic is the judgment of skin, sex. Are you male, female? Are you white, black? Are you blonde, brown hair? Can we allow ourselves to meet these judgments with a loving, peaceful heart? Do we need a white male Martin Luther King to stand up there and ask for peace before we can get it, that it's all about our heart being open and accepting, allowing, appreciating this dark shadow that's coming up to be seen, to be cleared? This is its chance. It's done a lot of turbulence, a lot of chaos, a lot of damage to humanity. It's time to meet it with compassion. It may have worked for survival at some point. I don't know. At this point, obviously, it doesn't work anymore. It's old stuff. Old stuff. We all know that color of skin, of hair, that sex, it doesn't matter. Yes, there's differences. Yes, there's hormonal differences between men and women. I don't know. There's maybe differences. I have half Russian, half Armenian blood in me. And so maybe I can withstand weather better. I don't know. It doesn't make a difference when it comes to judgment and opinions. Can you become the heart of the great divine, the great mother who accepts all her children, the great father who loves all his children without any kind of picking and choosing, these are better than the others? We are all loved, we're all adored. We are all appreciated by the great divine for being here, doing this work, for raising the consciousness. This is the most powerful time we live in right now. This is the most intense time. All of you souls that have incarnated into human bodies, you were looking down into this world. You were like, oh my God. The amount of expansion and transformation, who I can become by having a human lifetime right now, is like tremendous. And we're here to do this work. We are here to do this work. Can you allow the judgment and opinions of others? Can you accept? It takes a lot of self-confidence. It takes a lot of self-love. Can you allow and appreciate and accept how you feel when you're judged? Can you have compassion for yourself? Only through that deep compassion for yourself can you find compassion for others. In that moment when that woman said to me, this isn't right, that's not right. In that moment, my self-compassion had to come in to help me transmute those dark arrows from her and turn them into inspiration, turn them into love, to strengthen my love, to fuel my love for her, for humans. As my compassion, as my consciousness, as my awareness has been growing, my love for humans has been growing too. I used to hate people. That's the truth. I'm coming out. I used to hate people. I saw how they're destroying the world, how they're beating up, sucking out Mother Earth, how they're beating up on each other. I grew up in a family where anger was intense. They were beating up on each other and onto me. As my consciousness has shifted, as I grow, my love for human beings has grown. I love all human beings now. I see the good in all of them. I see the beauty in them. I see the truth that is hidden within all of them. Even if it is covered up by judgment and by opinions. Discernment is good. Be discerning. Be aware. Be vigilant with your own energy and the energy of others. But thou shalt not judge. So take a deep breath with me if you shall, please. I would really appreciate it in this moment. Can you allow your heart to open? Can you allow the peace within you to bring compassion to yourself for all those moments that you've been judged, all those opinions that have turned against you, that have forced you to become not who you truly are? Can you have compassion for yourself? And maybe even compassion for all those who have judged you, who have put their opinions on you. For your parents. We all do it out of ignorance for good reasons. We do it for good reasons. But it comes from ignorance and it causes destruction in the world. And now we see a lot of destruction, and that's this shadow of judgment and opinion coming up. So find your love for yourself and acceptance and allowance for yourself and for all those around you who judge you, who have opinions about you. It's not your fault. It's not their fault. Don't take responsibility for what isn't yours. Yet take full responsibility for yourself, for your actions, for your judgments. Take full responsibility for your side of the equation. And not in a way that devastates you, but in a way that shows you where your shadows are hiding inside you. In a way that shows you, yes, there's still anger. Yes, there's still judgment in you. Yes, there may still be jealousy. Yes, there may still be need for acceptance and appreciation and all that stuff that the ego needs to feel like it is part of. When we judge others, when we feel judged, we disconnect. We separate. When we allow and accept, have compassion and appreciate, we reconnect. This time is about union. It's about uniting. Are you going to be one who is uniting and connecting through your heart? Or are you going to be the one who is separating and disconnecting? Because even if you're complaining, even if you are getting activated and triggered by those who are disconnecting and judging, then you are doing that same thing with them. Can you connect? Can you allow the truth that we are all connected to be present in your core? Can you allow the beauty of our human imperfection to shine its light through your heart? Can you allow your goodness that knows that we are all one, that we're all good, to be present? Bless you all. Love to you all. May you be at peace. And may you use this time in the world to transform and transmute the dark shadows that come up within you to be received by your light. Shine your light Be the light. Share the light. Shanti, 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 and Amen.